Hier staat geen chat bij, die kunnen ze daar zien.
Ik denk het ja, even kijken hoor. Ja, hier.
Alliance Open is nu live.
Ja. Okay, that works.
Okay, awesome. Cool.
Okay. Hey.
Goedendag.
So okay, good.
Hello.
We so this is actually delayed, you see. So that's okay. So we can see the questions coming in. That's good.
That's a very good
Okay,
thing.
sit down. Yeah. All right.
Well, we'll have to wait.
So let's get so we can give some time to people coming in because we promised to start at 8.
Yeah.
It's good to see people coming in. Is the volume okay? Because we're not sure. We can't really see if the volume is okay for the receiving end.
Can you all hear us in the back? Alrighty.
Ja, oké, ja, precies. Ik kan het draaien bijhouden. Ja.
You ready to go? Oh.
Ja. Fluctuaties zijn aanwezig. Okay. So we've got volume fluctuation then.
Okay.
So maybe we'll just put this a little closer still.
Yeah, we're all in the frame. Is this better?
Okay. Good. Okay, I think we'll just start because it's 8 o'clock. First of all, welcome everyone joining us live or watching this video later. Actually, we've been building terrain and painting terrain all day today because in the Netherlands we have an extra, usually most of the time you have an extra day off. So we thought we use this day to the full extent and start building more tables already for our next event on the September 8th. So yeah, I'm here with Martijn Meijer. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Martijn. Minipace, some call me, or Meijer, or whatever. And actually, we talked about a tournament which I won together with my brother. And next time I'll be part of the organization for the next tournament. So I just thought I'll join these two guys and help them out. So really glad to be here.
Good. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
CJ?
Kind of glad. I'm CJ. I'm also an avid 40K player. Oh, you have to talk.
You really have to go into the.
Into the microphone.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
But I think most people see me around the tournaments in the Netherlands. I also do a little bit of international tournaments and went to the ETC. But yeah, I'm the cheesemonger here. I like to play dirty lists. And right now I'm mostly busy on painting a lot of terrain for the next event. And hopefully giving a bit more variation. Yes. Is it better like this? Or isn't it? Because that I'd like to know now before I redo my entire story. Again.
Oh, beter? Okay, all right.
Okay,
Better.
to know.
Okay.
So we have to talk into the microphone.
Yeah, loud.
Okay. Beter. Okay.
Well,
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thanks.
Good to know.
Well, welcome.
Put it closer.
Oh, come here.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah, get in here. All right then. Okay.
This is better. This is going to be amazing for the next half an hour.
It's gonna be awkward.
Yep.
Well, never mind.
Okay. Well, good to know you kind of hear us now. We'll just go ahead and talk about what we're going to do today. And first of all, we introduce ourselves, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Well, so just to recap a little bit, because we had, we first for the 40K tournament, we introduced it as the Generals of the West tournament. However, most of you have seen, and especially the ones who have attended, have seen that we're going to the Alliance Open organization. So why we did this actually, because we moved from not just only doing 40K tournaments, we moved to adding the 9th Age Fantasy Battles and X-Wing to this tournament, which was a great success. I'm very happy to see so many gamers joining us on the same day. So in the end, we thought, you know what, it's not only Generals of the West anymore. It's a wider array of games. So we said we want to rename this to the Alliance Open. The Alliance actually symbolizing the community and the different games we're bringing together on the one Alliance. And in the end, we're all tabletop wargamers, and we all want to have a day filled with a lot of fun and rolling dice. So yeah, we thought the name would be very fitting.
Sure that.
Then as well as we've seen, oh well, thanks Tom, it was good to know. So organizing these tournaments, we've been investing a lot of time, money, and effort in the getting the table quality up, getting the right venue, getting everything as higher quality as we can get it. So also what we've done is we've created how do you say you can call it a company, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So it's called the Tabletop Alliance, which actually will be our main part of the organization, where we'll just run all the other parts from. What the other parts will look like, you will learn that over time as we're building them. Peter is currently now also logged in. He's also part of this, and we're for the four of us will be really building and expanding on what we're doing right now already. So in the end, it will still be the same quality and better, though, the quality that you've grown accustomed to seeing from us. But yeah, we think there's a lot more to be done and can be done. So that's what we're going for.
And thanks to all of you guys for filling in the questionnaire. So at least now we know what we have to improve upon.
Exactly.
So we just started, and we're really excited. And the things we noticed thus far is that a lot of people think there's really a chance to make something big out of this. Not just for us, but for the community as well. That we'll see better tournaments, better terrain, better everything if we just work on it as a group, as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the amount of tournaments that are coming up lately, it's like they're popping up very quickly lately. Smaller tournaments, bigger tournaments, which is a beautiful thing for the hobby in general, of course. And we want to make sure that we're right there with you, providing the best events that we can, and partially leading the way in increasing the size of tournaments. I mean, last year in February, the RTT, the first edition, we started with what, 40 people, 44 people?
Yeah, 44 people.
Yeah. I mean, some of the people on the stream, I think, have been there even.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Mr. Rocks in the house.
So, I mean, that was already much to our surprise. We had 44 players, which was a bigger event since we've seen since the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years or something.
Yeah, it was one of the big ones.
So then, okay, from that feedback, from you, we've got the inspiration and motivation to actually size it up and go even bigger. So then we organized the GT in November last year, November 11/12, I think.
11/12,
which in the end we had also 46 players, 46 or something.
Playing
a two-day tournament.
Yeah.
Which was quite a surprise for us that so many already attended a two-day tournament. While a few years back, nobody was playing it. There was the GT was like I don't know how many people, but they couldn't have enough people to do it, and now the community is big enough to do this stuff again. Yeah.
And of course, it's a two-day tournament, so people have to, the price might be higher because you need to sleep over, depending on where you're from. Well, from this, I mean, we've seen also the feedback was that good from the venue and the lunch and everything included, like the whole thing, that we wanted to go even further. And then we communicated to you around New Year's or January that we're going for this new event. We were planning to move the events from, to scatter them over the years. I would do February, May, June, and then October, November somewhere, like, in the past 3 tournaments would be. However, of course, the venues in the availability of the venue we're at now was also filling up rather quickly. So we had to choose for April 28th, which actually was after King's Day. Well, at that time, I mean, it was the option that they had, so we just went for it, even though I to be honest, I didn't even realize it was after King's Day. But I'm glad that still, you came in great numbers. So
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So from this, we started building, and then the challenge was to get 100 people, because we need at least 100 people to make to make it work. I mean, financially, because it's quite the threshold that we need to overcome. However, I mean, in the beginning, we were, we were quite hopeful and said, okay, you know what, we can do this because the community has been growing that quick. This should be possible. And in the end, you guys made it work. That's also part of why we were gathering more gaming systems together, because just on 40K, in the end, we would have made it easily because we got 114 players this time. So we would have made it on our own, so to say. But I'm very glad that we added the 9th Age Fantasy Battles and X-Wing, because it's just multiple games together. It's just a nicer event.
And it looked really cool to have all the different systems in the same hall again. Like some of the older guys are used to having more systems than just 40K in one hall.
Yeah. It's also part of the feedback we received that people actually liked, looking at the other games, looking around and seeing what they're playing. Because it's also, it's a different game, it's something else you see. Which in the end, I think it's nice. So from this event, just to look at the kind of the plan we had on this event, we've had a blast. It was amazing. We had so many people at the same place. There's no crazy, negative things happen. No crazy rules debates or any I don't know, how would you say? Nothing crazy. No crazy rules debacles or anything. So everything went rather smoothly on a couple of things, but we've got your feedback from that, so we'll cover that. For example, the lunch logistics. Anyway, we'll cover that.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, in the end, in this guy, I'm speaking for myself. I also look at you guys, but you've been playing, so I'm curious of your experience when you were playing. But from an organization point of view, it was very smooth. It ran in that case, we had
minor hiccup with the pairing.
That's the second round.
The rounds.
Yeah, and we know why, and we know how to solve it. So that's going to be, the third round was actually much quicker. But other than that, looking at rules questions, looking at how people were playing and enjoying themselves, hands down the best event. It's on the rules questions, and as a judge, this actually 8th edition plays itself almost. A lot of questions can be solved by reading the book. It makes a TO or a judge's life a lot easier during the day. How did you experience it then during as a player in this case? And be sure to talk into the microphone.
Yeah, of course. Well, a few things stand out for me, and that was the game. The 8th edition is so easy. It plays itself if you just stick to the rules, and especially with this rules pack with quite simple missions, 2 versus 2, where you have enough time to do your rounds. And there was one thing that really made me happy, is that 3 hours and 50 minutes for one round of gaming is so much better than I see sometimes with the other tournaments with 2.5, maybe 3 hours. This worked really well for me and for my brother, which was my partner.
Partner in crime.
Partner in crime, yes. And I noticed that.
Switch places. No, that's actually a good idea. You sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna see a lot of blue now.
Yeah, of course. Well, one thing I really noticed is that we had a lot of time. So when the lunch came, everybody was already finished with their game, and the lunch. Well, you had to wait a few minutes, but everybody was there. There was nobody still playing rolling dice. No judges have to call dice down or whatever. It was just everything was so smooth. I felt no pressure, and for me that worked well. If I don't feel pressure in my game, then
pressure.
then I'll play better, So of course I won the tournament, which made me happy, of course. Yeah, of course. And with the prize support there and being able to already buy my stuff I wanted for my prize support was really good. The lunch was very good, even though during tournaments I don't eat a lot because I get nervous or whatever. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. A few things I noticed, because it was 2 versus 2, was one thing that I really liked is that while my brother was moving, I could just get something to drink, offer somebody a drink, just talk a little, talk with my neighbors, talk with other people, which made it a really friendly event. I could walk around. Nobody was harassing me for what are you doing here or whatever, which, I don't know.
Well, sometimes you could get people out of their game if you go to another. Talking, so.
But with 2 versus 2, I noticed that it was always friendly. And the funny thing I noticed is that when me and my brother were building our lists, we were like, well, will be a lot of fun lists. Well, there were fun lists, yeah, of course there were, but a lot of those lists were harder than I thought. Even with me and my brother, we played with Necrons and Dark Angels, which normally cannot combine, and it really worked out. Especially since my brother rolled a lot of 3-ups for the invul saves of raids.
That's the same thing.
It's a
know
Maya
you're out
thing.
there.
Yeah, that's a Maya thing, I guess. Which made it overall. I think this the 2 versus 2 tournament I like the most. I played 2, I guess, and it was so good, well organized, good food, good people, and it was so many people, which made it really fun.
The good thing, I think the good thing, I don't know if this is, maybe we should sit like this and then keep everything together. Yeah. So the good thing I thought with this 2 versus 2 format is that we had a lot of players who've been to tournaments before and also took a partner who didn't. So this means that you get like a more tournament ready player or someone with tournament experience pairing up with someone who doesn't have any. So that's actually, because I think a lot of tournament players, or a lot of players who want to go to a tournament the first time might be a bit scared of the competitive level or the kind of games that they might encounter. But if you go with someone who has tournament experience, it might make it an easier. Turn the laptop. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, so it's a directional microphone in this one. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So then, if you pair it with someone who hasn't done tournaments before, I think it's a nice way to get into that tournament scene. And we really hope to see these players come back to an individual tournament again, because it's not that scary. It's just people playing games.
That's also one thing I noticed in previous tournaments I played, is that there's always some guys, like the top 20%, 25% is always diehard. Go hard or go home. And then 50% is like just there for fun, and then the other 25%.
We got that. No problem. This is good.
Yeah, this is better.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So fine. Go on.
Yeah, but then those last 25%, they're just for fun, learning, maybe coming for a best painting nominee, which was we had 5 painting nominees, and it was so the quality was so good. It was a lot of different armies. One that was a lot of conversions. One that's very neat. A lot of highlights. So that's it's beautiful to see. The
right. Okay.
So,
do you have anything to add on this topic before we move on to the next?
Am I allowed to speak now?
You're allowed.
I'm allowed to speak.
Yeah.
Well, looking back, I think one of the main things for me was just looking around and hearing a lot of laughter. There was a lot of funny shit going on, people laughing about weird things happening in the game, cool miniatures being on the table, stuff like that. The tables looked really cool. We added a lot of new types of terrain in comparison to our previous events to give a bit more variation on the tables, and we are continuing to give you even more variation for future events. So
that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, we're painting a lot of stuff right now.
More is coming.
More is coming. Basically, we want to. We had one of the suggestions I think I heard around the hall was to give a bit more variation, a bit more team, and I think that's one of the things we're really picking up on right now, and we're already working on it for the next event.
Yeah, you see our poll. If you want to vote, check our Facebook. There's still a vote going on. Later in the show, we'll just see which one will win, and then we'll build that terrain. So. All right. So
okay,
I think we'll go to the survey.
Exactly. So the thing is, of course, we're already preparing for September 8th, the next event. Next to the fact that we're also looking into, I was sitting with the venue next week actually to decide on dates for 2019, because we know we have to be early. We have to get there early and just make sure that we can get all the slots in that we can. And looking at the enthusiasm of the 3 games, the 9th Age Fantasy Battles, X-Wing, and 40K, we also see more interest now in people wanting to play, for example, Lord of the Rings, or people want to play Shadespire, or Blood Bowl, or you name it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Legion,
Star Wars Legion would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, like Star Wars Armada and these kind of games. So we want to give that opportunity. Also for Age of Sigmar, for example, we just want to make sure that we have a TO who can, create a rules pack and judge it during the day, because we're not like experts experts on all games. Well, if we get the right experts in, like for example, we did for X-Wing and for the 9th Age Fantasy Battle, we got great guys coming in knowing the game through and through. And they ran a superb event. And we're very happy with that. So if we can, include these kind of games more, I mean, feel free to contact us and let us know, because we're going to make sure that we'll help you with, we've got the venue, we'll make sure we got the train mass,
we'll make room.
Exactly, we'll make it work.
If there is room.
But I mean, so yeah, feel free to contact us. But in the meantime, like we said, we're preparing for September 8th, which includes, the terrain painting day, building day today, but also the interpreting the survey results. In the end, we got 80 results on 3 different gaming systems, which was really great. I think the reaction percentage, I think X-Wing got 50% response, the 9th Age got 68%, and 40K got 70% responses in for the survey, which is a great feedback, of course, and that's really what we need. I hope you've seen, in the meantime, us using your feedback actually to improve the event, and we're doing this step by step, because we cannot do everything at once, but we'll try. And we'll see that again in this feedback session. We'll try to get as much as we can and improve as much as we can. But we need that feedback from you, because it really keeps our ears to the ground and makes sure that we are tuning into what you need.
So if during this video you are still not hearing anything you just thought about while watching this video, contact us, send us a message. We can, all the help we can get, yeah. we will work with it.
And what we'll do, we're monitoring the trend of seeing which feedback comes in most, because that will give, will be the highest priority. Because if one person out of 200 says, we need, green cloths on every table instead of white ones, we might reconsider the priority of this one. I mean, it's so depending on the trend and the feedback we receive the most, and we've got this information for you, we'll share it with you now. And that, based on that, we'll give the priority to what we can change at first.
Okay.
So looking into this, making the bridge, segueing into the survey results, hopefully you've seen the graphs and the pictures that we put on last week, I believe, on Sunday or Monday during this week. We put the overall, the summaries of the individual rankings of the tournaments you gave us, which is a great score. It's all like 4.5 out of 10, for example, or 4.5 out of 5, or 9 out of 10, so to say, which is great. It's it really confirms to us that we're on the right track with the quality of these events. However, we do want to go into the event in general feedback we got, and the game system. So we'll go through the event in general, and we'll go through X-Wing, then the 9th Age Fantasy Battles, and we end with 40K. Yeah. So looking at the event in general, CJ, you want to kick that off maybe?
Yeah, I can. So for the event in general, we had quite a bit of more general remarks in regards to lunch and the facilities at the venue. So lunch, we had a little bit of an issue in regards to. We had a little bit of an issue in regards to lunch. That was mainly because we made a small error or judgment, I think, in regards to the round timings. We expected to be a bit more of a difference between 40K finishing their round 1 and the 9th Age, but they almost ended at the same time, which resulted in almost 200 people storming in and acting like a bunch of savage orcs and munching on more food that I've seen in a long time. And they all wanted asparagus and waited in line for it. It was awesome. But that's something we're looking into, and we're gonna alleviate that pressure, because we're gonna look at the timetables and create a bit more space in between the rounds and in regards to the systems, so we can spread out the load a little bit more.
Feedback's also going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, our venue owner already knows about this, and there's something they're also going to look into to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Including sorry, I need to. Yeah, so we're also going to ask them to include, like you said, milk, juice, different kinds of beverages instead of the water, which arrived late apparently. Yeah. So, and we already gave all this feedback back to the venue. Like I said, we'll have a meeting together with them on Wednesday, and this is all gonna go back to them, and they're gonna so they're gonna take that into account, make sure that doesn't happen. So it's both ways. So either from their side, they will make sure that we got everything we need, and they will just keep running the kitchen as quick as they can. And from our side, we're going to have to make sure that logistically we just go in groups. So we might consider, because now you have an open connection to the lunchroom, that we close that connection to the lunchroom, because you can go from outside, from where you go to the toilet, you go outside at the door again. So maybe, the thing is, if you finish your games earlier, people, if they're done packing up and everything, they might want to go for lunch, of course. But in the end, it's a bit of a difficulty to make people wait until it's their turn. So we're going to have to, help each other with this, and also remind each other. To make sure that we got, everybody helps making this possible, because like CJ said, having 100 people, 150 people going all at once is, of course, a bit heavy on the kitchen. But like I said, we're gonna solve it from two sides. Yep.
So on to the next point we got. There were a few things with the bar. In the morning, a lot of people wanted coffee or tea, and we all had to wait in line. That's something we're gonna discuss, because that's not really handy, and we're gonna see if we can maybe get a coffee table when we start the day, and then we're gonna look at how the beverage is gonna be served during the day, because now everybody had to walk to the bar and had to wait sometimes, because there were 5 or 6 people waiting in front of you, and you want to go back to your game. We understand that, so we're gonna see if we can work it out with the venue itself. And then we'll see how that goes, because they have to learn from our events as well. For them, this is new for them. They haven't really done anything like this with 200 people all at the same time playing games.
As you might have expected, they have more weddings there than wargaming tournaments. So you might have seen, from the way they decorated, how they
chandeliers,
what they do. I mean the flowers look nice and the chandeliers look nice. However, they're more used to hosting weddings. But we'll get there. I mean, they were very helpful, and the cooperation is actually really good. Also during the day with the host, adjusting the temperature. So we try to feel around the room and say, okay, is the temperature okay? Needs to go up or down, or the lighting is okay or not. Because maybe in the back of the venue it might be a bit dark, maybe it's hard to see. So that cooperation actually during the day is very smooth with the venue, so that's good. But like Martijn said, it's an ongoing discussion with the venue, just how we can manage drink prices. I mean, yes, it's a beautiful venue. Yes, we have a great lunch, but we try to work with them on beverage prices. However, it's still their venue. So it's kind of linked to this. We'll do our best, maybe to, like Martijn said, get like a coffee or tea coming in, included with the ticket or something. Which we're going to try to make that work. But trust us, we're doing what we can. Yeah.
On to the next point, which was something you all said in all the surveys.
We've got the microphone right here.
Yeah, this is our mic.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, one of the main things you mentioned was that we need a proper audio system and a good microphone. So in order, things like round timings need to be audible in the entire hall and not just in the first 2 rows. I did my best to try and amend that slight error, but yeah, we're already looking into that for the next event to make sure that you can all hear me screaming in the entire room.
I mean, you have to understand it's actually added price to rent, for example, microphone and audio system, which we don't have lying around. So we made an attempt this time with the small box, which was actually a futile attempt. However, we're doing our best to make sure, to try to get a PA system or anything in that actually has enough capacity to fill the whole room. But yeah, again, it's another cost we have to take into account. So we try to keep the ticket price the same. But we're doing our best to make it work and just scrape here and there and start trying to get it in there. It's the same for maybe I could segue to that. It's the same for the clocks and the pairings. So what we did now is we put screens up, which are too small. Yes, we know, but we try to do it like this. There was different feedback from different gaming systems. I know for X-Wing, for example, today they also had a laptop there. We had an extra screen. For the 9th Age Fantasy Battles, they had an iPad which went on the screen lock automatically after every 15 minutes. It's not ideal for sure. So the basic thing we can do is at least put 3 screens down or multiple screens. We try to do multiple screens per gaming system, so you have 2 sides of the table to stand on, for example, However, the best option for us would be either big TV screens, which are a higher price, or beamers. So we need 3 beamers, for example, in the room, which to rent at the venue is what, like 80, 90 euros each.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we take this into account. We check it with them, but we're going to try to negotiate to get this included in the price and everything. So we're working on this. Like I said, we're going to try to make it work as good as we can, especially with screens at least. However, like I said, if we can get bigger visual feedback, like screens or beamers, we'll definitely take it, because we've seen the value and we know it will be of use to you.
And if we cannot handle it, we still have him, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not ideal.
So next week we're gonna have you walking around with a big clock.
Yeah.
Say, hey.
Just like Flavor Flav with his.
I want that Flavor Flav clock.
It's
That
40-minute mark.
big chain.
It's the 40-minute mark.
Oh, do I have to wear my heels again?
You do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll make a special Alliance open dress. It's actually with the logo.
CJ the round.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next point, which was a very good point.
Yeah.
We all gave you a button this time, but next time we'll give
For the 40K players.
for the 40K players, and next time we will give everybody the same goodie, a suitable goodie for all of us. With maybe our logo. We're not sure what we're gonna do yet, but it will be something for everyone.
Yeah.
So X-Wing, 9th Age, maybe Shadespire or Blood Bowl all got the same goodie, which makes it makes it even the tournament a whole, you know. So
Even more connected.
Actually, Yuri has a good idea. You need at least a skirt. So we can use
Liking it.
You can use the polo, but you have to have the skirt.
yeah,
We will look into that, Yuri. Thanks.
we can do a Scottish kill, you know, keep it a little bit manly.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. So the goodies that we thought about it, and we already made a decision. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make one big goodie, one goodie for everyone.
Then we've got the directions. Yeah, so we've had some people. I'm not sure who I have it for 40K. It doesn't matter. It's that people find it hard to find. Maybe their navigation actually sent them the wrong way, or whatever. So what we'll do is I'll actually connect it to the next point we have on the agenda, is also the dependence on Facebook. Because now we've run everything through Facebook just like this. But there's a website coming. So we're gonna make sure that we not only rely on purely Facebook to inform everyone. Of course, we try to send emails to everyone, but especially with a team tournament, what we've seen is that if a team enrolls, you only get the email address of one person from the team. So out of 114 players, we send out 57 emails, which might mean that 50% might not always get the information they need. Of course, we expect the teammates have responsibility and share this information. However, what we'll do is we'll also put directions on there, how to best reach the location by public transportation and by car, where to navigate to. And again, there will be a website actually for the Alliance, for the Tabletop Alliance in general, with the other aspects that we're going to run, but also with a separate page on that for the Alliance Open, all information about the events and how to get there, and everything. For example, maybe to buy your tickets.
We're thinking about it. So, well, these are the general comments we got through our survey, which was quite a lot of very good for us. But we'll go to the next system, and it will be X-Wing.
Yes.
Right. Well, there were a few things that we noticed, is that the X-Wings they had a good tournament, but everybody got a few comments. So one of the important thing was that they were all cloth on the table, which were a little bit wobbly, making the playing with models for X-Wing really annoying. So we're going to talk about it with Van der Valk to maybe one cloth per table, so everything will stay down, or maybe no cloth. We're going to discuss it.
I mean, it's a simple thing to solve. It should be straightforward to make sure that your match, the X-Wing match, should be fine. I don't know if you had that experience with the 9th Age and 40K as well, guys. I mean, if you had, let us know. That we can look into the managing the tablecloths, making sure that everything's straightened out, and you don't have any wobbly model syndrome just by the mats.
Okay, so the next one was what was the next one was
Painting.
The painting, which was new for us.
Yeah, busy was a problem we didn't know existed, because when I think about X-Wing, I go about, isn't that the game where you buy painted miniatures? Apparently there's people also painting up their own forces again, or repainting them, or making it look even better. And there was some questions about, okay, if I want to win best painted, for example, do I need to paint my entire fleet that way, or is it only one ship? That kind of stuff. So that's something, those discrepancies we're gonna figure out with the TO. So that's gonna be even clearer for the next time.
Increase the size.
Yeah. We're there was one of the questionnaires had the remark, go bigger. That's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
We already discussed with the TO, and we're most likely going to go up to 32 players for the next one. And most likely it will also be a regionals event, which means bigger prizes, cooler prizes. So make sure if you're one of those people that likes to play X-Wing, or if you have friends in your neighborhood that play it, make sure they know about the next event, September 8th, because we're gonna make it a lot bigger. So be there.
We don't know if second edition came out yet already, so we don't know which system we're gonna play or how we're gonna play. Maybe it's the last time you can play first edition,
Like a goodbye.
or maybe it's the first time you play second edition. So that's something we'll discuss with Theo. We don't really know yet. And one of the comments was also to split one more competitive gaming and casual gaming, and that's something we'll be discussing with the Theo as well, because that's not really for us to decide, of course, and it's hard to see where's the golden line, what's good. And I like casual gaming as well, but it's a tournament. Some people will say, well, tournaments go big or go home, or we'll see.
Exactly. I mean, we can make that distinction between tournaments. Maybe we can also consider. We've thought about it for example, for 40K as well. You might make a split. Have a casual one and a competitive one. But we'll have to decide on this and see if there's any like how many people are interested in this. But all in all, for X-Wing, I think the feedback overall was really good. They were very happy. At the beginning, we were a bit hesitant, and we were afraid that they might think it's too expensive, because usually the X-Wing tournaments are 5 to 10 euros, I believe. But in the end, I'm glad we got 15 players in, and we opened the doors for the next one. So we're very happy to see you back on September 8th. So make sure you're there and get your friends. Okay. So we'll make a segue to the 9th Age fantasy battles.
And first of all, it's going to be about terrain, and we have one guy who knows all about our terrain, and that's going to be you guys.
So for the terrain, we had some remarks regarding there's official sizes for the terrain pieces in the 9th Age. We knew about this before we did the event, but because it was our first event for the 9th Age, we didn't have all those pieces ready yet. We're already working on the new designs for new pieces, and also modifying. Those are some amazing hemlocks in the back. We're already working on new designs and rebasing older terrain we have to make sure that the sizes are coherent with the game system's suggestions. So we're going to work on that as well. One of the other things in regards to very beautiful tables is beautiful armies. And we had a lot of people asking for painting scores with the 9th Age as well. So something the organization of the 9th Age is already looking into. They're still going to, they need to figure out how they're going to do that. If they're going to use a system similar to what we do in 40K, or if they're going to use something else. But that's something we're going to take into account for the next one, definitely.
Me as a 40K player, I walked around with Best Paint, and I was really surprised. But I played Lizardman, or what are they called nowadays, Seraphon or whatever, and he won the Best Paint. And I was flabbergasted. It was one of the most beautiful armies I've seen in tournaments these days. He had like more highlights on one model than I had on my whole army. So
hello Joris, welcome here. So guys, any the 9th Age questions, please spam the chat now. He's in the house.
Right. So, but we're talking about soft scores, themed armies or whatever beautiful painted armies. We're gonna work on it. So good. That was a good comment.
Yeah.
And there was something about the table. The tables in
it was the location of where you played in regards to where you're paired. So with the rank, you're like the higher your rank would be in the tournament ladder, then there would be a logical like lead up to the first table, the final table, for example. So now I think what I understood from yours, that was like more of a technical issue with the pairing app at the moment, which should be solved. However, I mean, at that time, I understand you would like to know which is the final table, where you're gonna move up to it, but that should be solved, no problem. Yeah, and then let me see the other one. That was actually the one that solved. Yeah.
We're already working on the software for our pairing. We're gonna do it ourselves next time. We had a few issues with it. Now we had an Excel sheet and we had a different pairing system. We're going to work it out and make sure next time it will just work itself. We're going to try it on our own small tryouts, and then on the tournament we'll see what's going to happen.
Okay.
So on to 40K.
40K then.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wanted to take
oh my!
See what's happening?
I got a little bit too excited there, guys. Sorry. So for 40K, let's start it off. I think one of the main things we heard leading up to the event was there was a little bit of miscommunication in regards to the final rule spec being online. Sorry guys, my bad. We were really busy building all the terrain and painting everything in time, and it kind of slipped in. So the final version was there, but I saw we mislinked one of the on Facebook. We had the link to the old rules back, stuff like that. And that's also why we really want the website to be online, so we have one place where everything will be updated, and you can go there and make sure that everything on that site is going to be up to code and up to the deadlines. We had a lot of comments in regards to how strict we are. I'm a teacher, so yeah, this is going to happen. Now we're trying to. We have a very strict policy in regards to army list templates, and this is mainly because we had to check 108 lists in time. That requires us to make it somewhat more structured, so we can check it quickly. For that, we have a very strict template that we need you guys and girls to adhere to. Otherwise, it's just impossible for us to check it in time. So yeah, we're really strict on that, and we're going to stay strict. So make sure you have that down for the next one. Yeah, it's a system. Tournament players that have been to more international events are probably familiar with, but I guess for a lot of the new time players, it can be a little bit new to have to give a list like this. But it's not too bad, and we're already looking into solutions to make it a bit easier on our side as well in regards to list checking. So that's something we're going to keep you up to date on. And then I think it's good to go to one of the players in regards to the next point, being painting point.
Well, one thing I want to say about the last thing, you should imagine that with the amount of codexes coming out right now, different point systems, chapter approved, FAQ, it's so hard if 1 week in front, everybody is sending in their lists, and then we have to check all those points. That's one of the things that really, I don't know, it's hard to keep. Yeah, there's something. Whatever. I think that's the connection or something.
No, it's you. It's you. Is the audio okay?
Okay, well it's better.
Is the audio okay? I think I have a bit of lag. Yeah, but is it? If the audio is okay. Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's back. Yeah, we got a preview running. It's delayed, but we got. Okay, so continue. All right, go. Okay, audio.
So you can imagine that it's hard for us to check 100+ lists with new points, with new stuff, and
yours is even in French. Like, good job.
So next time, let's hope the GW is their app for creating an army is already up and running with points. Right now it's only in power levels, but if it's good, we'll use that. But right now it's our template or none. It's just better to help us. So on to the next point was about painting, and we're quite strict. And for me, one day in front I was still making highlights, and when I came up at CJ's and Denny's, I still had to do a few highlights, and I asked them, if I do this highlight, will I get more points? Because they're judges, so I can ask, and they were like, "No." So I'll just then I won't highlight, no problem. But it's very simple. If you have to ask if it's good enough, it's not good enough.
Especially on that three minimum colors threshold. If you have to ask yourself, would this be 3 colors? It's probably not. So make sure you get it on there.
So primer is not a color, a glaze is not a color, a wash is not a color as well.
Gloss is not a color. Sorry guys, we've been to the ETC and we've seen people spraying their models black, then using a slightly darker gray, and then gloss, and then saying it's 3 colors. So yeah, don't pull that shit with us. It's not gonna fly, okay?
We put a lot of effort in our tables. We like to see some effort. You don't have to do everything with 3 highlights and whatever, but we just want to make sure that everybody is looking at the game and says, well, that's beautiful. That's what we want. Nothing more, nothing less.
I mean, everybody wants to play, on a beautiful table with beautiful terrain. So having your own beautiful army, of course, it's beautiful in your own eyes, but I would say make sure that you provide your opponent with beautiful army as well. This whole experience actually makes it very nice.
Yes.
But actually, it's a good segue to the theme tables. Well, we got some comments coming in about tables not being a theme. Now, I think we did quite a good job on the terrain on its own. But however, I can agree because there were some tables with maybe some crystals, some industrial terrain, some ruins, for example. What we're trying to do is still vary with the terrain we have because we want to make sure we have a right balance on line of sight blocking and colorful themed. So we're, like I said, we've just showed you we're still working on more themes. Also, one of the themes that we want to, the poll that's going on will close at the end of this session, and we'll keep building and adding more terrain. We've got more terrain coming in, like for example those big like harbor dock cranes, right, CJ?
Yeah.
So we've got one of those container cranes coming in, which will be great centerpieces for new tables, which put in a lot more character, a lot more theme. We've also started adding more ruins and more wrecked vehicles and wrecked dreadnoughts, for example. We've also got this one coming in as for tanks.
Right now I'm working. I'm working on this temple because these guys they started this all, so I wanted to give them a temple. I don't know. It was a weird moment, and I thought, well, let's do it. So this is Yapihu, and you see, well, he's a cool guy. So we're working on it, and we think this is going to be everybody's going to get one of these on the table, and then in the end we'll see what happens. We're even considering checking out if we can make a piece of terrain for winners of a tournament. It's good to see someone coming back to a tournament and noticing they got something. So currently the Necrons and the Orcs are tied for the team table for next tournament, and both have 6 votes. So 6. So if you wanna still commemorate on that and do something different, you don't want to do Orcs. I get that.
I say I have about 10 minutes.
You have about 10 minutes to check our Facebook. I think CJ is going to put in the vote in the chat here as well, so you can vote and give us. We'll see at the end of the video what we're going to get. If it's a tie, we'll roll for it. So, okay. And then there was one big thing that was really important, and that's Forge World. And I'm gonna give that one to the big team. I'm gonna give that one
Forge
to you.
World, we've had a lot of questions on Forge World. We've seen different tournaments running it. We've seen different tournaments not running it on purpose. However, we are seriously considering trying it out for September 8th. So, have your fingers crossed. We'll work out the details and say, okay, if we're going to go all out on Forge World, we're going to say maybe maximum like one copy of everything, or a certain percentage of your army list can only be Forge World. But we're seriously considering opening that door and seeing how that works. And if it's not going to be too extreme, we're going to throw like the whole meta around or anything. But we're seriously considering. So keep your eyes open. We'll let you know.
We're noticing that everybody's like, well, a lot of the really teamed armies, they usually have want to have Forge World or something. So we've seen beautiful armies, and we want to give them the chance to even get in more Forge World. So even this guy over here, he's got a few Forge World models as well. He played with them a few years back, and he's still enjoying his you know.
Get that film. Get that film. Get it
So
out.
good. It's so good, guys. It's so good.
All right.
I've seen enough of it to see where this is going.
Okay.
So,
So yeah.
so we're considering it, and we're checking it out how it's going to work out.
Next. What's the next topic?
The ground line side blocking.
Oh, yeah, line of sight blocking on the terrain. Well, we've had call the Death Watch, Tom. Get them in here. I mean, it's Rotterdam, so you should be able to get them in a very short time. Like exterminatus. Let me know before I'll get out. You can anyway.
Call it an orbital.
Anyway, on the line of sight blocking, well, we got some questions saying, well, why would you rule the bottom floor line of sight blocking? You know, and because some of the windows are open, why don't you just hold them closed? Which, I mean, it's quite some work to make sure that we get all the material and everything, and just go through all our terrain again and close all those windows. And I mean, we're not sure how this, the game will develop further. So we, in this case, would say we keep our terrain a little more flexible. We just rule it as the bottom floor being closed. We're looking into still. I mean, we still keep the option. We're looking into just creating custom windows, for example, where we can close them quickly. So I mean, like I said, we're considering our options and trying to make it happen. Trying to make everything as true line of sight blocking as possible, for example, or make it work. But in the end, because we want to keep the terrain variable, we'll keep doing this for now until we get a good solution, or we have the time and money to implement the full solution. I think for this, up to now, I think it's actually working quite well, because it will really help you balance the shooting armies versus the close combat armies. Because you've seen, I mean, we've all been there, that we've faced an army which just blew you off the table in one turn, and it all depends on the first dice roll who gets first turn, and that's not what we want. We see that also, I think, going pretty well is that in ITC. I think they also rule all the bottom floors closed, which actually creates nice, more strategic games, I believe. Because I mean, if it's just a dice roll on West first turn, you can just massacre the other one in the first turn, for example, or just damage enough that there's not a game left. That's not not the reason why you go a full day to a tournament just to have like 3 first turns. We don't like to have three games of 5 or 6 turns, for example. So that's why.
As for the rules, considering the battle rules that are with a big FAQ right now, it's just we're gonna wait and see what's gonna happen, because there's a big meta shift with no deep striking turn 1 and stuff. So we haven't even played new games yet. So we're gonna play some more games and check out what's best for us. But right now we're just considering it, and we'll see what's gonna happen. It's hard.
Yeah, and in regards to that, for most of the people that don't know, but there's a huge tournament going on in England right now, London GT, which has over 300 players, I believe. So that's one of the first big events that runs both Forge World, I believe, but also runs the new battle rules. So we're just we want to see what's going to happen there, and what kind of results they will encounter, but also which issues they will see popping up on the tables. So we're gonna see what that means for the game in general, and for our future events, of course.
So I think for the last, we have one point left about the trophies.
Oh yeah, correct. So we've had a couple of questions on trophies and certificates. In this case, for this tournament, we actually forgot the best painted army nomination certificates. We're very sorry about that, because we had a lot of trophies, and we want to make sure that if you're doing team tournament, that both of you get a certificate if you win something, which we've seen managed differently in the past. However, we did. Oh no, we didn't. But we forgot the certifications for the best painted army nominee, and that will not happen again. We've also got some questions on getting trophies instead of the prize money. I mean, it's always a bit of a toss-up, like what you would prefer. But we are seriously looking into creating trophies for the tournament. It can save us a lot of logistics during the day. Maybe filling in the names and making sure that when we've got the trophies ready, this is something we have to manage the last moment before we put all the certificates in the frames and everything. So we're considering, maybe exchanging some of the prize, like the credit for a trophy. And so I mean, it will be good memory. I think it's nice to put your model cabinet together with the army that won it. So we're looking into this. So for the guys who are asking for trophies, I mean, we're on it.
Okay. So that's actually it for 40K. I think we covered all the things we got through the survey, but we know a lot of people are like 3-4 weeks later, like, oh shit, I forgot to say that. So
actually, if you questions now, just put them in there. I mean, we're here now, so if you have a question, this is the moment. You can always contact us afterwards, of course, but maybe it would be nice to have it live.
Right now, we're doing this live version on Facebook. We're going to check it out to see if we go through YouTube, because we have a YouTube channel, which is still under construction. So you can look us up, but you'll only find our promo video from this tournament. We're going to put it up right after the show. Really excited to open that as well. You know, we do a lot of different things. We started the tournaments. We're working on our social media coverage. We're doing everything at the same time, I feel like, but it doesn't matter because I really enjoy it. So from now on, we're going to see how we're going to do it on YouTube and maybe get a better microphone, so you can hear us better. You know, we all already noticing how annoying this is.
So shall we have a look? I mean, now, like I said, it's like 10 minutes later. So let's have a look at the poll. Where are we now, CJ? What do we got? So it's still the same, isn't it? Oh wait, here we go. Yuri has a question. I might have missed it. I haven't seen the whole stream. Detachment limitations. Are you keeping the no duplicates? That's a good question. I mean, we've seen Games Workshop actually taking example from us, of course, going to the maximum 3 copies of everything, which we were ahead of the meta. We know what's going on.
We knew it.
But but we can think about this. So, okay, maybe we could just go closer to the complete Games Workshop ruling and say, okay, they went to the maximum of 3 copies of anything, or we can also drop the duplicates maybe. So this is also together with the whole Forge World discussion, everything. I'm trying to get have a good look at this rules pack and say, okay, how can we get it as close to the original that Games Workshop will put out? ETC is also allowing it then. Okay, so the ETC actually dropped those duplicate limitations. So it's your fault that Drukari can use a full rating party. Yeah, but the Drukari,
that's our fault.
It's just Yuri, Mr. Drukari over here. That's never going to happen because the limitation of having 3 detachments is a GW limitation, and that's not going to be dropped because we do feel that limiting that specific thing might be a little bit awkward. But to be quite fair, I played Army. You don't need 6 patrol detachments. You
need 6 brigades, man.
You need 6 battalions, and you can do that. So don't even bother about patrols, especially with the changes to CPs in regards to battalions giving out 5 and brigades giving out 12, I believe now. You don't need it anymore. Trust me.
Okay, so one
high five.
You're nice, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, man. Great. Okay, but one thing I noticed, we noticed is one thing a lot of people don't like in the game is the Supreme Commander detachment. We're thinking about we're thinking about how we're gonna rule that, because and nobody likes to see 3 shield captains as a detachment. That's so we're thinking about it, and it's not GW has a lot of good rules, and we're just brainstorming all day. This day as well, we watched a movie, but we were brainstorming all day as well. I think it's what's the poll right now?
We're gonna close the poll right now. Then we're gonna see what's going on.
We're gonna refresh it.
What's gonna be the next?
We need a dice.
We're gonna need a dice roll.
Where's the dice?
So it's
I got my dice back.
So it's gonna be between Necrons and Orcs.
Necrons and Orcs.
All right. So
okay.
We're gonna get a die.
So I'm already thinking. Yeah, but
true.
Okay.
Wargaming fashion, just roll a die for it.
Yeah. And I don't even know.
Maybe we can just flip one of these and see if it lands on his back. Let's see. There's also on the floor.
You see me rating. Okay, so we got a dice.
Do roll up.
We're gonna do roll up. So
what's gonna be?
So basically,
this one's green.
So that's gonna be
Orcs.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
so we have Orcs is the green dice. We're gonna have Necrons gonna have the black dice.
Yeah.
Logos are 6s, everyone.
Wait. Who deploy? Who's finished deploying first? Gets +1.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. It's Necrons.
It's gonna be Necron table.
Necron table is gonna happen.
Okay.
So we're gonna start working on that, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for letting us know. It's cool.
I voted Orcs, but whatever. So
Edwin, how many contenders do you have? How many? Because if you're already building, we're curious. I want to know.
I think Edwin is currently doing Emperor's Children. He's got full grim. He's got a lot of. It's beautiful. I thought I saw a few models already. So good work.
Shall we close the call? We've just struck the hour mark, so
we're gonna close it off.
Yeah, we're gonna let me just go a little into the middle so we get everyone in the frame. All right, that's all right. Okay. All right. So again, thanks you guys for joining this. I'm glad we had some people on the stream. We're gonna maybe do this more often because I think it's a nice way to include the community. 3 and counting, Edwin. Keep counting because you gotta need those contenders.
1, 2, 3, many.
Right. So.
Right. Yeah.
But
lots.
I don't know. We don't really know what we're gonna do next time, but we're still working on terrain. Maybe next time we'll see a video of us painting.
Yeah.
If you want to know how that works, batch painting. We paint a lot of things at the same time. I think today we did about 1, 2, maybe 3 tables in one day in beautiful painted terrain.
Full color.
If you want to know, next time I think maybe we'll go live and just chat about it. And
exactly. Yeah. I mean, if this is something you like, I mean, I enjoy doing this. Actually, I've never done this before.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
My ADHD is working up, so I think it's time to get out of here.
All right. I'll get his pills.
So just before we leave, September 8th and what is it, November 17th, 18th, make sure you're there.
Yeah.
We'll let you know as soon as the tickets go online for sale. Just make sure you're there because we love seeing you there.
And check out our promo video. It's going to be up live in 5 minutes, and we'll post it on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Yeah. You know where to find us.
Make sure to check it out. Share it to everyone. Share it in Wargaming channels. The promo of Alliance Open. So
thank you very much.
We're very proud, and thanks Marilyn for making it. Actually,
thank
you so much.
Thank all of you.
Yeah. All right.
Bye bye.
Talk soon. See you next time.
Later.
Bye.
Nerp. We want to go. Bye.